per the charge sheet belonging to the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Honorable Cecilia Abena Dapaah, is missing from her residence. It took her husband chancing on the person in the act to notice that $1 million was missing. It then presupposes that the stash of cash there is way in excess of $1 million. Because even if it was $2 million and half of a stash of money is missing, it will be obvious to the naked eye. For it to be so inconsequential that you couldn't notice its absence until you stumbled on the person should give us a bigger worry as a nation. How much was stashed in that home? And then begin to ask ourselves, and I agree with Professor Apiajetua that there's no crime in keeping your money under your bed in a bank, digging a hole and putting it. It's your personal choice. There is no legislation that says all monies must be deposited in the bank. So on that one, it's fine if she kept her money.
At least in Ghana, elsewhere,
yes,
you cannot.
But in Ghana, there's no law like that. So I wouldn't say that she's breaking any law by keeping money in her house. But the question I would then ask is, if $1 million is so inconsequential, I'm looking at the quantum of my mind's eye is envisaging how much money was stashed there. How then did you come by that money? Is it legitimate money? If it is legitimate money, we can simply establish that by you showing us the trail of work done to inherit or earn that money. And then if it is inheritance or earned, we must see the commensurate tax that has been paid to the GRA on that matter. And that will settle this matter. But if you are unable to show us any legitimate business that paid that money, and again, the question you ask yourself is, for that volume of money, which legitimate business will pay you in cash? Or were you paid by bank wire and you went to the bank and asked the bank to withdraw it and bring it to your house? If that was the case, you must tell us which bank. The bank must confirm that they indeed did a cash out of that amount and delivered. And then we begin to ask ourselves, we have the central bank regime, where even when you want to withdraw $10,000 from a bank in Ghana, you can't go beyond that in a year. So on what basis then?
And you suggested if it was money paid to her, like bulk,
yes,
one installment, that amount,
yes,
the FIC, the Financial Intelligence,
absolutely should have been triggered.
Look, I had to fight for a client. It was just $50,000 that was sent into his account.
Yes.
Somebody in the bank saw it. They said, we check your accounts, not this much. Immediately they triggered FIC. The money got frozen. Now we had to go to court and fight and explain why the money belongs to the person.
50,000 cedis.
Right.
That is literally
$50,000.
$50,000. Sorry. So that is literally 1/20th of the amount we're talking about here.
So if it went through that, then it must be legitimate because they would have gone through those processes.
The FIC will have to establish, and like I said, we're talking of $1 million, which is the insignificant portion that was stolen. So the full stash is what we must begin to investigate and understand. And for me, I think that if Honorable Cecilia Abena Dapaah was minded by the title she bears, Honorable, and this is someone I know personally, but I mean, she should have resigned. She shouldn't even wait to be sacked. She should have resigned.
She's issued a statement.
And you see that statement?
She's issued a statement.
Okay.
It doesn't matter that the Cecilia spelling
because I was coming to
at the beginning has CECE, but we are informed that she admits that this is her statement. And the statement is dated the 21st of July, 2023. Statement from Cecilia Abena Dapaah. I refer to publications dated 21/07/2023, suggesting that I own $1 million, 300,000 euros, and millions of cedis, which have been stolen from my house. There are noticeable inconsistencies between what is being discussed in the public domain and the thrust of the original complaint on the matter. I am taking steps to examine the origins of the inconsistencies and will provide a detailed response in the coming days. Signed, name correctly spelled, Cecilia Abena Dapaah. Okay, so she doesn't say this is untrue. Of course, she cannot say this is untrue, but she says there are noticeable inconsistencies, and as far as the original complaint is concerned, and she's taking steps to resolve that. Maybe
So you see,
maybe the investigators put $1 million when she meant for them to put $100,000.
For want, this case has been in court for a while. It's not just today it started. And the investigations have been going on since sometime last year, 2022. For want of the confidentiality of private conversation, I would not mention who. But yesterday, in Parliament, after this matter broke, a senior member of government and a senior MPP person made it clear to us that they were going to engage in a PR spin and get the charge sheet amended.
I think the charge sheet has actually been amended, but I haven't seen the amended charge
Exactly.
sheet.
So, and the attempt to amend it is because of the gravity of the theft, to try and drop down the numbers. So Ghanaians should watch out for that. You soon see a new charge sheet that have dropped a number of zeros out of the figures in question. But